My name is Christoph Schell. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer at Intel and joined today by two very impressive German gentlemen who have the similar accent to my own, so you guys are going to be confused. But we have Ingo here. Ingo is the CEO of PreciTaste, and we have Hauke here, who is the Global Operations Manager. And I learned last night that both of them are really into the restaurant business. So can we maybe talk a little bit about this? What does PreciTaste actually do?
Sure. PreciTaste, a quick way to describe is we do something similar to the self-driving car, but for the food services.
Okay.
So we bring in computer vision and sensing and use RealSense sensing for that as well to automate the processes back of the house and connect to front of the house systems.
Okay, and how versatile is this? What different services inside the restaurant can you actually cover today?
So there are different use cases customers like to use us for. One is, for instance, what to cook when, because everyone likes to come into the restaurant, and the restaurant is basically the food is ready, and we don't want to wait for the food. But for the restaurant, this speed of service is like one key factor. And especially because we as customers tend to come all at the same time.
Sure, peak hours, yeah.
For the peak hours, and so they need to prep and cook everything on time. Mm-hmm. And we basically are streamlining the demand with what the crew is doing to have what to cook when, the food just on time ready, in just the right quantity.
Okay.
So the food is fresh, and we're not overcooking, so we're saving on food waste.
Okay, okay. Okay, you talked this morning on stage with Pat about one customer, Chipotle. Can you maybe go a little bit deeper?
Absolutely, with pleasure. Today, Chipotle announced their vision for the future. They are rolling out the PreciTaste technology into a full market that is 100 restaurants. It's about sensing the demand of the inventory and sensing the inventory levels and alerting the crews what to cook when, as Ingo described already. We do that with 3D sensing from the ceiling, made possible with the Intel RealSense camera. But our solution is absolutely flexible. It detects the inventory that it's looking at and the fill levels at the same time. So if you switch the inventory around, the system still sees absolutely everything that is available and can recommend the crew when to cook in order not to stock out. The call time for the chicken, for example, is 20 minutes. That means 20 minutes before you run out, you have to give the command to restock. Otherwise, customers won't be able to get the chicken for a few minutes.
Why did you decide to partner with Intel? What made us win your business?
Intel is an essential piece to our value delivery to the customers. We're using the Intel RealSense 3D depth vision plus the DL streamer technology of bringing the RGB stream into the edge devices. Our entire solution is not running in the cloud, but on the edge in the restaurant itself on devices like the Intel NUC. We are strong believers in offline first, in edge AI, because it needs to be low latency, it needs to be seamless deployment, and from a cost perspective, utilizing the cloud is prohibitive in this environment. And these different pieces from Intel, including OpenVINO to allow us to classify ingredients live, just make it a very natural partnership between us and Intel on customers like Chipotle, but also on our other customers.
Super cool. Have you ever checked in with us on networking as well? Because that was one of the categories you didn't talk about. How important is networking for your solution to work? Is 5G a topic?
Interestingly, some of our deployments are running on 5G because the less integration required makes it much easier to deploy the solution. So where we don't need a POS interface, for example, we can be on 5G, and you're absolutely right. The standard is so quick that the monitoring and the model delivery to the restaurant does not require the wired connection anymore. 5G is strong enough for that, and that just makes it possible for our installation partners to go in and out in a few hours without any changes to restaurant operations, and then our system is deployed and workable.
Are you using the data also not just to run the operations in the here and now, but to maybe analyze at a more aggregated level to find certain trends, find certain seasonalities within the day even? How far are you going with the data analytics?
So the AI is actually deployed for the local restaurant. So the models we have are all on site, and
it's all on the edge in the restaurant.
It's all on the edge in the restaurant, and it's also optimized to the local trends.
Okay.
But of course, we are sending the data that we're gathering, or the high-level data, to our reporting tools. So there we have new insights into several KPIs the restaurant did not have before. Often we're the first measurement tool for freshness. We're the first measurement tool for fill levels and how often something is being replenished, how much is actually being discarded. So this is very useful information, how certain items are trending for any restaurant operator.
I think data is the key word. You mentioned it. If we were to describe PreciTaste in one sentence, it's turning restaurants into data-driven enterprises, digitalizing information and making sure that this information is being used to improve the guest experience, to improve the crew experience. We can sense the available inventory, we can sense customers that are waiting to order, we can sense cars in the drive-thru with way more precision than the restaurant crew members can, especially since in some instances they don't even have windows. They can't even see that there's 8 cars piled out there, and our software sees the 8 cars and asks them to already prepare the food for those in anticipation of their orders, to keep fast food fast and to keep fast food fresh.
I think what is fascinating to me, somebody that grew up in go-to-market all my life, is on the one hand side this customer experience focus that you have, but the other side, which is driving operational excellence for your customer, helping them to improve the profit, to be differentiated by having fresh food, making sure that wastage is limited. So all of this plays together. So it makes this very interesting from a business model point of view, because you could actually have different angles on how you commercialize it. Have you thought about this? Are there different offerings, different ways for you to have skin in the game with your customers?
Our customers are actually thinking about that. So there are different ideas on how the technology is being used, and also on how the AI agent is being optimized. It might be that on the same platform we are, for one, working on speed of service, and for the other ones on order accuracy.
Mm-hmm. I think it's fascinating. So I really love that you're here. Okay, it's great. And I'm really keen to see how far we can take this. In a previous life, I was in 3D printing, and I always thought about, wouldn't it be cool to actually go into an environment where we have a replicator, we can print food based on AI analytics, okay, knowing what I want to eat before I even know myself. Yes. Maybe at some point we will be able to do that. Ingo, Hauke, it was great having you here. Thanks a lot. Appreciate the partnership. And I hope everybody enjoyed this video.